Welcome, everybody, to the Xonebros. We are your positive gaming and Xbox community. If you're here on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also join our positive community over here on YouTube by becoming a member. Support the show. With membership, you get, what do you get? You get a loyalty badge. That is awesome. By the way, shout out to everybody in chat right now with a loyalty badge. You also get exclusive videos made just for you, a members lounge that we do almost every single week after the show. We're not doing one this week, but but almost when we start on time, we do it every single week that members get exclusive access to, as well as our Let's Plays that are exclusive behind the scenes. Huge shout out and thank you to everybody that supports the show. If you like what we're doing here, you want to see more of it, please come support us over on YouTube, youtube.com/X1Bros. Subscribe to us there, but then hit that join button. It's like Patreon. It's like Patreon, everybody, but it's on YouTube. And it makes it nice for us because we can easily create all of the content for members exclusively just in one shot. It's beautiful. Yeah. With that, the gaming awards were this, or not, they weren't this week, but we got the nominees.
Nominees, and you can go and vote.
The nominations.
You can log in and vote.
Can I give you my rant real quick, or my take?
Well, I agree with your rant.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Probably most of it.
I gave my rant.
I probably agree with like 85.
Maybe not.
With like 85% of it.
Well, I'm curious what part you don't agree with. I'll
let's
give
see.
it right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my rant. So Starfield was not included in Game of the Year. Now, a lot of people think there's actually almost 400 comments on my video over on X1 the Gamer.
Nice plug.
Yeah. I see what I did there. Yeah. Who a lot of those are like, Starfield didn't deserve it. I think Starfield does deserve to be a nominee. Doesn't mean that it just deserves to win it. I do think that they got snubbed, but I think here's the ultimate problem with the Game Awards. I think the system is flawed. I think the way that they do it is flawed. And the reason is because you have all these categories. For instance, you have best RPG, you have best sports/racing, which I don't think should be a category. Best narrative game, best an action adventure, best platformer, best indie game. Which, by the way, one of the games nominated for an indie game is from like a $10 billion a month company, which is hilarious, and they're being dragged.
Wow.
For it, but.
I want to look that up now.
So here's the thing. Here's my problem. So theoretically, and we should look back, I would be curious if this ever happened. Theoretically, you could win one of these other categories. So Starfield is included in best RPG of the year.
Okay.
Let's pretend they win. They won't based on the competition because, I mean, this year's competition, it's the golden age of gaming for sure. It's a tough year, no doubt. But they could technically win RPG, but not win Game of the Year. And they could win RPG against other people or other games that are included in Game of the Year nominations. I think that's just it's a flawed system to begin with. My proposal is that Game of the Year, we don't know the nominees until the night of. And we don't know the nominees until each of these categories is unveiled. And the winners of each of these categories, winning a category gets you into the game of the year
running.
And then there on the spot, we are deciding, the voters, whoever decides.
I mean, it's like Mortal Kombat. It's like Mortal Kombat, where it's like
single round elimination.
Okay, you're going to fight Goro eventually. But single round elimination all the way.
Well, no, because then you get the best from each category. I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea.
It makes more sense. I think it's really flawed right now.
Because where it's weird is let's just take this scenario. Starfield is in Best RPG with Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is in Game of the Year. If Starfield wins Best RPG, which I'm not saying it will, I actually don't think it will. I think Baldur's Gate's going to take it. But this is my point, though. Yeah. Let's say it wins Best RPG, but then Baldur's Gate, which is in that same category, like you just said, wins Game of the Year. But if it's not the Best RPG, how is it Game of the Year? You know what I mean? Like it's
well, for instance,
I agree with you. I do think it's a flawed.
For instance, no sports game will be included in Game of the Year. Why not? If it wins its category, it should be included in Game of the Year.
I'm under the opinion that sports games suck.
Well, and I would classify.
But that's my.
I would also. Yeah. But what if it was like Mario Tennis?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You know what? You're right. You're right. It depends on how good the game is.
Or Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games.
You're right.
But why can't Forza ever be included in there, or Gran Turismo? I'm not just saying this for Xbox. I'm just saying it's a flawed system. Another thing is like consistent games. Like let's see. Can we scroll down these categories here?
Yeah, you want me to put
Game of the Year.
Let's put it on the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
Just I want to see all the categories because
I think that's actually another problem.
Yeah, they have
I
too
also
many
think this is a
categories.
problem with the Oscars too, because you may be thinking to yourself, well, they just do the same thing as the Oscars.
well, the Oscars have a
are very
whole-
flawed too.
The Oscars have a whole other problem with themselves.
But
So
there
best
is a
game-
lot of categories.
Okay, WTF is best game direction. Anyone?
Well, it's like best director. Like I get that one.
But why is it direction?
Because the direction
I like
it's
where
the
Alan Wake
director
2 started, and I liked the direction they went.
No. It's like director. It makes sense because like the direction of the game is Alan Wake. Like they directed it to be a horror.
They should
game.
have
You know
said
what I mean?
best
Like-
director.
That's what
and
I'm
then,
saying.
And then showed the name, and then in parentheses which game they were the director on.
Yeah. Okay. That makes. That's how it makes.
That's exactly how every other award
No,
does it.
that's how it should be. You're right, but then I don't know. Now you have me thinking maybe David's right. Maybe it is a direction of the game.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's like best director.
Best adaptation, it's got to go to Super Mario Bros. The movie, right?
Oh, we're
Probably.
looking-
I would.
Let's say what these are. So, game of the year. I want to talk about this.
Okay,
real quick.
so let's go through. Can we just?
I have a very
hold on,
hot take on game of the
Hold
year.
on, I do want to just give my. Can we just scroll down? I want to see some of these categories real quick, just to close off my point.
So, game of the year, best game direction, best adaptation,
Which is TV shows.
best narrative, best
that one
art
makes sense.
direction,
Makes
best
sense as
score
well.
and music, best audio design, best performance.
That one's legitimate.
Yeah, I would say all of these so far. Minus
Best performance is because you may think because like if you're like me, you're like, well, what do you mean like
It's
like
individuals.
60 frames? No, it's actors. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything's good so far, except I would call it best director, but whatever. Best performance, innovation in accessibility.
That's a fake award.
No,
I think
appreciate-
that's kind of a. I mean, that's a.
I
that's
appreciate
recognizing-
I appreciate accessibility, but do we need an award for
well,
it?
no, like
I think it's okay in the fact that it's pushing hardware forward a little bit and pushing software that utilizes
Well,
hardware. And
I guess
like,
it's
no. Here's my thing.
yeah, it's recognizing.
It's recognizing.
I like.
But does it need to be an award?
No, no,
or
no,
like
like-
like against each other? Just tell us who it is. Like do a highlight on it.
But here's the thing. Like I think the award is fine, but I think it's more so. I think games do a good job of accessibility, and we've come a long way. But I think there's a lot to be said about peripherals that have given accessibility for these games that are not included in this category, which I believe they should be. Case in point is the adaptive controller. from
Yeah,
Microsoft. Like that is a huge. Despite what
the
you
Sony-
say,
and what's the
that is
Sony
a
one?
hu-
Yeah,
that is
Sony's,
a
yeah.
and Sony came out. Yeah, that is a huge leap forward in accessibility.
Yeah, much more
but
than
not,
games.
but not in this
well,
category.
maybe
so I
hardware
think
is there.
so. I think hardware should be in there as well.
You know
that's only my. That's
you know
my
what's
critique.
funny? Not one of these are Nintendo because Nintendo doesn't give a crap about mapping buttons. I have learned that over the
No,
years.
they're
They do not allow me to access.
They make
You-
you play the way they want you to play.
and like Tears of the Kingdom is like it's a godsend because you can actually change jump between two different buttons, and that's it.
Okay,
but
so
that's nice enough. You know, it's like
so
oh, thank
for
goodness.
so for instance, right here's my category that I best ongoing game is a category, and in this you have your typical who you think should be in there. Genshin Impact, absolutely. Fortnite, absolutely. Final Fantasy Online, absolutely. Cyberpunk 2077 is an ongoing game. How is Cyberpunk 2077 in there?
This is the problem. I think okay, maybe another hot. This is going to be a night of hot takes. I don't think this category should exist because pretty much every game in this universe now is an ongoing game. Whether it's single player, Cyberpunk is a single.
So when I interpret ongoing game as an online game.
I would say you would have to rename this to best supported game.
Because Cyberpunk 2077 is an ongoing. It's a single player game that's ongoing because they just released an expansion
But
this
it's
year.
single player.
No,
Like,
but supported. Trust me, I'm glad the CD Projekt Red supported Cyber.
comeback. No, there should be a category comeback of the year.
I don't. Yeah, actually, that's not actually that's pretty good. It should. Yeah.
Remember, like the most.
No,
improved
I don't
award?
think-
Yeah, that's this category for
ev-
Cyberpunk. But Cyberpunk should not be on that list.
90% of games are ongoing, and I think
No,
this
but
category. I don't think this category.
Okay, that's
should be
fine.
there.
But I understand at least what they're going for here, except for Cyberpunk. Like it doesn't make any sense with Cyberpunk with amongst these other games. But let's take this as an example. Let's say Apex Legends just has a stunning year and absolutely crushes it. None of these games will ever be in Game of the Year. And my question is, why not? Each category should be able to stand alone and represent a game, in my mind, that could be Game of the Year. And the reason we have all these stupid categories, the reason we have it doesn't make sense is because it's a flawed system. And so you have categories that like you're just throwing, let's just put Cyberpunk 2077 in here with these perpetual online games.
It's because they came out with Phantom Liberty this year, right? And it got that major update, and they have been up. But the thing is
best supported.
Even if you take God of War has gotten patches to improve performance in the game.
Then let's go
right?
down.
You know
Let's go down one
just
level to best community support.
Hold on, before we do that,
Yeah.
what the heck is Games for Impact?
That's like social statement games.
Oh.
I personally think Hogwarts
I don't know.
should be in there.
This shows where I'm at. I don't know any of these games. I know 0 of those games on this list.
You're not the demographic for that.
Guess not.
for that
That's funny.
Your hair's not blue enough.
Okay.
The best community support. Okay. Would Destiny 2 be in there?
Well,
Destiny 2 be in there?
I'm just gonna again another hot take. I think Blizzard should be in there for World of Warcraft Dragonflight. They've done a lot of good stuff for their community. I mean, yes, I still have my criticisms of them, but they have done.
Your criticisms could go into 40 minutes per episode.
Yeah, no, I do. But I think with the latest expansion, they've done a lot for their current community, right? Yeah. I think they need to do stuff to make that community bigger. But yeah, I think so. I mean, it's just.
Nefarious Noob over here on YouTube says new category suggestion: best eternal releasing game. Yes.
Again, here we go. Hot take. Why is Baldur's Gate in best community support?
Well, they did say, you know what, we are going to release it on the Xbox.
Well, yeah, and I'm not knocking.
After Phil Spencer met with us, yes, we are.
And I'm not knocking
As
Baldur's
they're
Gate.
putting money into their
think,
pockets.
I think Baldur's Gate. I think all these games care about their fan base and they do things for them. But it's just
scroll down. What else
I
is
don't
on?
know.
What else? What other? I've not looked through all the categories.
So we have best community support, best independent game, best debut indie game.
And there's another one that I think you can actually get rid of.
What's the difference?
That's my point.
Best indie game, best debut indie game.
Best trailer? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think you can get rid of that category as well.
Does that mean trailers?
I don't know. I think you can get rid of that category.
Yeah, that's my point exactly. Right here,
What does that mean?
Best debut indie game. I'll look it up on the website. I'm sure there's a description.
Yeah. What does that even mean? Best mobile game?
So okay, right there. That also. What if you just have a killer mobile game that absolutely crushes it? Also, Genshin Impact is a mobile game.
Well, and
they have another game, Honkai Star Rail.
That's also on PC. Like,
it's from the same developers. Why is Genshin Impact not on there, but Genshin Impact's on the other one? That's my problem. It's so flawed. Continue. Let's see what else.
Okay.
What else do we have?
Best VR game. I'm fine with that category.
That's a good category.
Best action game? Yeah.
Good category.
Yeah. Best action adventure game?
I think you're milking the sponsors on that one.
Okay. No, but they could be. I mean, it's like swimming in the Olympics.
Here,
it's like the 200 versus the 400. It's the same thing.
Okay, but let's look at this category.
But that's
a little
two gold
more.
medals.
This category has 4 best action adventure game. This category has 4 of the Game of the Year nominees. You have Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, and Legend of Zelda. This category could break the whole system. What if Alan Wake 2 wins Best Action Adventure Game, but then against the other game nominees, but then Legend of Zelda wins Game of the Year? What world does that make sense in? That doesn't make any sense at all. Yet that could happen right here.
No, I think your system works. I do.
This proves my system. Where's the best tutorial? Nefarious Noob, we do need a best tutorial. That actually is a legitimate award.
That would be better
than needs to happen.
Best debut.
Best debut.
Best tutorial
and best debut of a tutorial.
Best fighting
you
game.
had best RPG, which has the same problem. You have Game of the Years going against each other in that one.
Best fighting game. Best family game. Yeah. Best sim strategy game.
Fine with that.
Sports racing.
Some people don't. Well, see, I don't know because racing is a sport.
Racing doesn't come out very often, though.
Yeah, and I do like racing is a sport. Like I get the category. I'm not against that.
Well, then it should be best sports racing and fishing game.
This year it's basically
hunting.
This year it's basically racing. Look it's F123,
Hot Wheels Unleashed, and the Crew Motorfest.
That's yeah. No, I
F1.
I don't think racing games.
It's all racing and soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Did you guys ever play Hot Wheels Unleashed 2?
Now, this next category,
actually, I think my kids did.
Best multiplayer presented by Discord.
Obviously, the sponsor, right? Now, okay.
Gotta pay those bills.
This category.
So there's best actor.
This
best actor. You know,
this is a flawed category overall.
Well, because it's different types of multiplayer. Like you have co-op for the first 2 games. You have competitive and Street Fighter. You have Mario Bros, which is another co-op. And I'm just gonna say this. Sorry, I'm just gonna say this.
Like every one of the ongoing games
and people
Cyberpunk.
People may get mad at this, but why is Modern Warfare 3 not up there? It's one of the largest.
Because it's presented by Discord.
It's one of the largest multiplayer. I mean, maybe Modern Warfare 3 didn't hit the cutoff.
I will be honest. To pay the bills, this is a pretty smart category. Because they could have like presented by Gillette on the next one. Presented by. I mean, they've just introduced their own. You know.
Most anticipated game.
I don't think this needs to be a
this
category.
This should not be a category either. Content creator of the year.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that. What do we think?
Esports game, best esports game.
Wait, what do you guys think of the nominees?
I like Cypher PK. I think he does fun Fortnite videos.
I actually do too.
Yeah, I like Cypher. I've liked him for a while. I'm glad to see he's actually grown quite a bit. I'm fine with best esports game. I think that's a good category.
See, but here's the thing. Esports games are multiplayer games. None of those games in esports are included in the multiplayer game category. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Best esports athlete. How does that determine? Do they have a combine? They should. Actually, it'd be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
Like you have to be an athlete that plays video games.
No, just have like video game exercises at the combine.
Like that thing that we saw last night, that toy that who can get to the 120 levels first.
I don't necessarily think you need best esports team because if you win, you're already the best.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think you need that. I'm fine with esports game and esports athlete.
Supposed to be creative awards.
I don't think you need
creativity.
I don't think you need esports team, and maybe a hot take. I don't think you need best esports coach either. But I mean, if you're gonna have athlete, I'm okay with you having coach. I don't think you need best esports team, and to be honest, I really don't think you need best esports event.
I don't mind them.
I don't mind the event. I don't mind the event one.
It's something other than crappy. Like these, it's introducing. Like if I was a fan of Evil Geniuses, I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, they're nominated.
Yeah, but let's say, but here's the thing. What if they lost every tournament this year?
Yeah, how many tournaments did they win?
That's what I'm saying. How are they? You know what I mean? Like,
but they wouldn't make the list. Like, are you mad at the category or the
well,
nominees?
No, I think you know who the winner is. The team who won.
Who won in there?
Well, to be fair, we know who the game of the year is going to be.
Well, my hot take for game of the year, I think there's only 2 games that are up for it, and no other game has a chance.
I think it's going to be Spider-Man 2. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be Spider-Man 2.
You really think it's Spider-Man 2?
Well, yeah, because it's a Sony game. I think Baldur's Gate probably should win, but I think Spider-Man 2 because it's Sony.
David thinks
see that SIE right there? That's why.
David, and I agree with him to an extent. This might be my 85%.
Call me a conspiracy theorist.
I watched
the journalists all break down.
Okay, no, 100%.
I watched the Xbox derangement syndrome happen in real time.
Hold on. Journalists, 100%. I agree. They swing Sony by far.
They swing Sony.
Yeah, they do.
Swing low and swing Sony.
That's just what they do. They swing Sony. It's always been that way, right? I think gamers are a little bit more, but the gamers really, they have a vote, but do they?
Do they really?
You know, like what's the percentage of the vote?
I think it's 10%.
So they don't really have a vote at all, is what you're saying?
I mean,
I guess if it's close.
Yeah. No, I think there's actually 2 games in there I don't think should be there at all. But I think there's only 2 games for game of the year. It's between those 2.
I disagree with you on one, but I know Resident Evil 4, I think Jordan's going to say.
Yeah, I don't think Resident Evil 4 should be there. I don't think remakes should be there. It's playing off an old game.
What about Final Fantasy 7?
No, I don't think that should be there either.
Okay. You're consistent, at least. You're consistent.
No, I don't think remakes should be there. You can have a best remake category if you want, but I don't think they should be.
Why isn't there a remake category? That'd be awesome.
I think it should have its own category.
Jordan, I think I disagree with you.
I knew it was coming. I'm going to be full of hot takes tonight, man.
I think if it's a new game, like it's not, that is Resident Evil 4 is a new game. It's based on the story of Resident Evil 4, and based on there's like mechanics that they put in there that are similar to the original, but that is a new game.
It is a new game in the sense that it is an incredibly well done update.
It's different.
It's
technically
it's the same game, and I would actually say it's worse because they took out some of the best lines in Resident Evil 4.
Okay, that's subjective.
Technically, it could be under best ongoing game
No.
category.
You know what I mean, though, right?
No. I get what you're saying. It's a new game, but it's on the foundation. I don't know how to explain it because you could say a sequel is on the foundation of the first game. But
look at what the Game Awards website does to me. This makes me hate the Game Awards even more.
You have to put it in portrait mode.
Literally every other site.
I don't know how we can show you. Want me to put it on the camera on you, David?
There we go. So I have my iPad here in front of me.
So we love you. Please rotate your device.
I like how they start out with "We love you." Like
so David
they know you're gonna get pissed.
So I have to go like this. Oh, and then look what happens. It pops right up for no reason.
Show the screen. Show the screen. So he tilted.
Here we go.
That is pretty stupid. So he's on a
iPad.
iPad.
Watch this. There it is. Oh, just why? What?
So for those listening, he has the Game Awards website on his iPad, and he's got his keyboard attached to it, so it's landscape.
Yeah.
And it won't let him view this.
I have to flip it vertical, and then when you flip it vertical, it just like fades in.
That's funny.
No, but
oh man!
All right, Game Awards are dead to me.
Going back to what, and maybe I should say
if
this.
I can't access the thing I hate, so that I could hate it better.
Well, no, maybe see, and I'm not on the hate with it. I should probably say this as like a disclaimer. I actually like the Game Awards.
I watched the Game Awards for the trailer reveals.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be honest. I probably think that's why a lot of people watch the Game Awards. But I actually think there should be something within the gaming industry like this, and I actually do appreciate what Jeff Keighley has done.
Agreed.
I do just think it should be refined.
It got out of control.
Yeah.
It quickly became the Academy Awards.
And
well, I mean, you have a category, a promotion category by Discord.
Well, but like,
that's fantastic.
The categories,
that's so funny.
The categories could be so much more intelligent, though. Like, that's my biggest problem here. Do I think Starfield got robbed a little bit? Who really got robbed was Hogwarts.
Oh, 100%. Hogwarts Legacy. There's only one reason Hogwarts Legacy is not in any of these categories.
If you want proof that the gaming media lives in an echo chamber and is biased, that's it. And no matter how you feel about Hogwarts Legacy, the fact that it's not in one category says everything you need to know.
And it's not a secret why it's not in a category.
They don't like J.K. Rowling.
They have a different opinion than J.K. Rowling, so they don't put the game that deserves to be in some of these categories.
Meanwhile, it was one of the top streamed games, one of the top played games.
And
fantastic game. Music, it should at least be in the music category. The music's fantastic.
And the developers who have nothing to do with J.K. Rowling, who made an excellent game. And yes, they live down the road. Invite me to your studio.
Also,
I know some people that work there.
And made an excellent game. There's at least two categories that they should be in. 100%.
Give it to me. What categories?
Music.
I think they should be in Best RPG. And I would give you Best Music. Game of the Year, I think you can maybe argue, but these other, in my opinion, there's only two Game of the Years right now. So going back to what I said, I don't think remakes should be in Game of the Year. It's hard to explain because they're basically... I like remakes, and Resident Evil 4 did bring a lot of good things. Like they brought a lot of updates and quality of life that the original didn't have. They did take some stuff out that was very upsetting to me, but they did bring a lot of quality of life. But it's fundamentally the same game as it was before. Just how.
See,
I would argue Final Fantasy VII fundamentally is still Final Fantasy VII. They've just added new stuff.
No, they've disagree.
Well, if it wasn't Final Fantasy VII, then they would have called it Final Fantasy 16.
No, but it's,
you know what I mean. Like if it was, it's
based on the same story, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Based on some of the same mechanics, yes. But that is a different and new game.
It's an entirely new game. You mean it was built entirely new?
Yeah, it's different level design, different camera angles, different. Like the engine is different.
I would say you have a better argument with Final Fantasy VII because of just the technology gap, right? Of you were a turn-based top-down shooter. Resident Evil 4 was a third-person shooter, and the new one is a third-person. Like it's the same fundamentally. Do you get what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this:
but I'm gonna stay on it. I do think maybe remakes need their own category.
I would agree it needs its own category, but I also don't think it should be excluded from Game of the Year because it is a new game.
If it had its own category, I think it should be included in Game of the Year only if it wins its category.
Going back to your system. Going back to your system. All right.
My system is foolproof.
I mean, so I look at this list. Game of the Year. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda. I haven't played. I plan on playing Spider-Man before.
The only one in this category I have not played is Spider-Man 2, so I can't say to that, but I have seen people play it, and I have seen, in my opinion, after just what I've seen, so like I said, I haven't played it. There are still only 2 games in this category that I feel are a notch above Game of the Year, and it's between those 2 games.
Baldur's Gate 3 and
Tears of the Kingdom.
I
don't think Mario should be there. Another hot take.
Why?
I don't think Mario should be there.
Why?
This is a brand new Mario.
Brand new platformer Mario. Why?
Warcraft Rumble's a brand new game. We don't see it on Game of the Year.
Well,
Who cares if
because
it's
it
brand
crashes
new?
every 10 seconds. And when I buy stuff, I don't get stuff.
No, I think look, I have played Mario Wonder.
And when I do a dungeon and it crashes, I have a 10-minute countdown timer that I can't play again. This is a game that you play on the toilet. Once you're off the toilet, you stop playing. So why is there a countdown timer? Okay?
Right, yeah.
That's why that doesn't belong on this list.
I feel you.
Okay,
I feel you.
no, but just because it's a new game doesn't mean it deserves to be there. No. This is gonna look. Mario Brothers is. I'm gonna say how good the game is. Mario Brothers is a good game. I've actually been playing it twice. I've played it on my Switch, and then me and my son play it together. It is a good game. What I like about Mario Wonder is I actually believe it's the game that will get young people like my son into the side-scrolling genre.
The mechanics are super cool.
Yeah, I believe it will get them into the side-scroller genre.
Yep.
I believe that Baldur's Gate 3 and Legend of Zelda are far above this game. Like, it's not a chance. It is. I think it's there because it's a Nintendo game. But if you're going to put a Nintendo game on there, it's not going to win. It's there to be there.
So here's the thing.
They should have taken that one out and put something else
There's
there.
no Xbox game in Game of the Year.
Well, Alan, no, you're right.
Did Xbox get snubbed? Because I think we can agree that Starfield probably did not get snubbed. I would have included it.
But I think that's a subjective.
But all of it is subjective.
But I mean, I think anyone on this list, you could argue that it could be.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Oh, okay.
But what about Xbox? Was there a game? I think Hi-Fi Rush could be in there.
I think Hi-Fi Rush should be there over Mario Brothers.
All right. Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is very good, and it's unique. It's one of a kind.
I'm sorry, but I do think Hi-Fi Rush should be there over Resident Evil 4. But that's just my opinion on remakes. On remakes,
I would agree with you. My argument is not whether or not.
No, I get. I get you.
Whether or not a remake that's a full remake. That's not just a
Can you control F Hi-Fi Rush and or just high and see how many categories it's in? I think it's just. Is it just art? Direction?
It's hi-fi with a hyphen, right?
Yeah, there it
Might
is.
be
Best
music.
art direction.
Yeah, music. That makes sense.
Scoring. Oh, so it did do music.
Best art direction, best music, I would hope. Best audio design.
Okay.
Innovation in accessibility.
I mean, look how many categories it's in, and it's not.
And best action game.
And it's not in Game of the Year. Like it's very good.
So it's in 5 categories.
Also,
now it's not
also maybe a little bit
a triple A game.
Also, maybe a little bit of bias here, which would go along with all my other hot takes. I think Armored Core should be in that category over Resident Evil 4 or Super Mario Brothers.
Armored Core is that good, huh? I have thought about playing Armored Core because I'm watching people
now,
play.
That being said,
Spicy, have you played Armored Core yet?
All those games I would put in that category, Armored Core.
I don't remember.
Armored Core.
I played it or not. That's
now,
so sad.
Me putting Armored Core and Hi-Fi Rush in that category, and let's say we even put Starfield in there, I do still believe there is a giant step between Baldur's Gate 3 and Legend of Zelda and everybody else. Even Alan Wake 2.
Legend of Zelda.
I'm a little slower on Alan Wake 2 because the game scares the crap out of me.
I would agree
but it's a good game.
I would agree with that. Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, so granted, I have not played Spider-Man either. I want to play that. But I have played Legend of Zelda and I have played Baldur's Gate, and also, both of them boggle your mind when you play them.
Also, I would have put Final Fantasy 16 on this list,
and
I
both
don't
of them are lest people yell at me. Both of them are far above. Like, if Starfield is if Starfield is here and it's a good game, both of those games, Legend of Zelda and Baldur's Gate, are like this next level up. Mm-hmm. Like they are very, very.
In my opinion, it's just between Zelda and Baldur's Gate. I think Baldur's Gate wins, but I would see the argument if Tears of the Kingdom won. And you can get mad at me for saying that. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom is the same as Breath of the Wild. It's.
You don't think Spider-Man's going to win?
Wouldn't you argue, King Jordan? Can you argue that?
No, because I actually think no, it's not the same as Breath. I mean, it is in a sense, but it is a.
You can see where I'm going.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
You're saying it's a
remake.
Would
I consider that a remake?
No, because
it's the same.
Because they redesigned. No. They redesigned the base world map. And there is an entire underground that you knew nothing about, and there is a sky realm.
So
the story is much better. It's
on my Know My Game series that I do on my own channel. Plug to my channel.
Nice plug.
Thank you. I did this game, and the game was going to be DLC.
Yeah, and weren't they like,
it became too big.
Yeah,
that's all it was. It was just like, okay, let's make it our own. Well,
and just coming, but here's the thing, coming from a fun fact, they basically gave you dev debug tools, and they were like, just put them in the game.
So, and you would not consider that a remake?
But I'm confused.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's a remake. But I am confused at the logic that why Legend of Zelda, you don't have a problem with it being there, but you do have a problem with Super Mario Wonder.
No.
Those two are.
I think Super Mario Wonder is a fine game, and I do think what Super Mario Wonder does well is the fact that I think it's going to get younger kids into that side-scroller genre, because I think it's a cool, fresh side-scrolling Mario game that's very good, and and I have my son's 5, almost 6, loves it, right? Is having a good time with it. I don't think it's anywhere near the caliber of Legend of Zelda and Baldur's Gate. And I think I would replace it with Armored Core, and I would replace it with Hogwarts Legacy.
Starfield?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. I mean, I think Starfield's a good game, but I don't. I think Starfield's a good game. Yeah.
2023 had a lot of good games.
No, it really did.
Spicy on your game of the year list there, any games you think are missing, and do you agree with Jordan's analysis on who you would pick?
I disagree with some of his fundamentals.
It all comes down to fundamentals.
I disagree, but he makes I will give him credit. He makes some points.
Well, that's the strategy. If you just throw a bunch, some of them are going to stick.
Out there. That's why debates people talk really fast.
I don't know. I could see an argument of, he briefly mentioned it, but Final Fantasy 16 I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not there. I would put that there over Mario Wonder and Resident Evil 4. I know some people didn't like Final Fantasy 16, but I thought it was a really, really great game with an awesome story. That story is fantastic. And it's epic.
I know.
All right, let's see if
Pacific Rim with Game of Thrones.
Let's see if my theory is right. I think Spider-Man's going to win.
I think it's Baldur's Gate. It has to be Baldur's.
Man, I got to play that game. I got to play Spider-Man because I really enjoyed the first Spider-Man. I thought that was a fantastic game. I thought it was the best. Spider-Man has been made 20 times, and I thought the last Spider-Man was the best Spider-Man that's ever been released.
Yeah. To add nuance to this discussion, so that when people in the comments complain at us, I can smack back and point to, well, actually...
No, the people in the comments that complain generally don't watch our videos.
Actually,
they just read your titles, David.
Actually, here's my nuance here. I do think the Game Awards, they just need to tighten stuff up. I do think Game of the Year it's flawed in the way that it's put together. I think you need to tighten up your categories. I think... And I genuinely don't. Do you guys agree with me that that's a better format? That not knowing Game of the Year nominations until the night of Like imagine
No.
it makes you pay attention the whole night too. Like last category, and
Well,
gets put in game of the year.
Well, I
nomination
like
as
your idea of a game winning the category is now eligible for game of the year. I like that idea.
The other point.
Well, you wouldn't know it until the night of.
That's stupid.
You wouldn't know it until the night of anyway, because all the categories come in, right?
And I'm not going to show up unless I know I'm nominated if I was a developer.
But you're nominated.
You're nominated for other categories.
For other categories, not for game of the year. Until that's where you find out.
I don't know.
It'd be much more. It'd be much better for TV too. Let me.
No,
tell you.
it wouldn't.
Yeah, it's must
People
watch.
won't show up if they don't think that their favorite game.
No, look at this. You sit down on a stream. You're doing a stream
Let's
of
be
this.
real.
Look
No
how-
one watches this stupid show anyways.
Yeah. But look at this. I would hold all
4
of these.
hours.
So game of the year obviously is last. That's the big one that you do, right? Game direction, I'd move that out. Best adaptation, don't care about that. But they're like best RPG, best all those categories that are best of. That's at the end of your show, and it's just like now it's time for best sports game of the year, and the winner is Forza.
Hansel.
The winner
That
is
Hansel's so
Forza
hard.
Motorsport. Boom, and then Forza Motorsport on the screen. It goes bloop into the game of the year nominated category, and you're like, oh my goodness, it could win. And then you go to the best RPG.
Yeah, and then it can be like American Idol where people are voting throughout the night. You know, and it's more interactive. So
what do you do though under that circumstance if a game wins multiple categories?
Well, then it's just I don't know. So
gets a bonus.
maybe there is a flaw in your.
It gets a
in your
bonus.
thing.
Maybe that's how the winner is decided.
Whoever wins
How?
the most.
Because what if I don't know, Baldur's Gate takes away four prizes, but loses to Legend of Zelda, and Legend of Zelda only took away 2 other nominations.
So then it takes off. What are you saying? What are you saying? This is like a battle royale.
I think we got to do a real time bracket battle royale here.
Yeah. Well, let's say
That's how it
really
goes.
brackets, and every bracket. Okay, let's say Baldur's Gate wins RPG and Forza wins sports. Okay, they go against each other. Now, whoever wins out of that takes the other award.
Yeah. So if
So it's a straight up. It's a.
so if
It's a Squid Game.
So if Baldur's Gate wins RPG,
It now became best sports game.
and then
That's
just
what I'm
keeps going.
talking
It
about.
keeps going up the
It
list.
is winner take all.
Tarkov style.
Oh yeah, it's Squid Game, it man.
Hey,
You get the whole money at the end.
I would like to point out in chat real quick, Beast. He actually makes he explains it better than I. Mario Wonder is a really good game. It's not groundbreaking. It feels like a very polished version, like a Mario Kart 7 to a Mario Kart 8. I think that's actually a very good way to describe it. It is a very polished side scroller Mario.
Interesting.
Also,
Yo. So, sorry. Go ahead.
also I was gonna say once because what you know how they do, and I think they'll probably do it this year too. I don't know, but you know how they do like the gamers vote for game of the year.
People's choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think that one has more value than this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Those are hard. Those ones are hard. Those ones are
No,
like
because
popularity
they've always
contests.
been correct.
Have they? Have
Yes,
they though?
they have always
they?
been correct.
Well, let's see. Let's
Like
see.
for example,
So wait, Game
do
Awards
you,
has
do you
that?
remember? Yeah, they tweet it out, right? It's not. I think they like. It's like a.
It's not like an
It's like a
official
quick, like
category?
you know, when he goes off to the side and he goes, yeah, and then Ludwig won, and then this guy won, and now it's like one of those.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those they try to sweep under the rug.
Yeah, and I think that's the real one.
I agree.
Because I think there's too many, and I'm just going to say this, hot take, I think there's too much politics involved with the categories here, behind the scenes.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, with any awards show.
Because there was one year where it was between Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima.
It goes to Tsushima one.
Hot take, Ghost of Tsushima was the better game, my opinion.
It's not a hot take if it's true.
It is true.
It's
And the people chose Ghost of Tsushima
just
because it was the
just a
better
true
game.
opinion.
I think Last of Us Part 3 was a good game. I wouldn't have gone that direction with the story if it were me. But I think it was a good game. Naughty Dog does their artists and animators are incredible and they do a good job. But it wasn't, in the people's choice has never failed me.
Do we know
The people have not failed me.
Do we know any of these Game of the Year like directors, CEOs? Do they share the same views as J.K. Rowling? If so, I don't think they should be included.
Bold take, David.
We'll take
No,
it.
that's
saying.
yeah. Hogwarts Legacy, and
Robbed.
whether you like J.K. Rowling or not, that game was a well-developed game and should be in there for. You don't have to put it in Game of the Year, but it should be in there for a couple categories at least.
I was going to say something.
And not to mention, all these stupid companies do terrible things all over the world
let's
anyway.
Go. We got some super chats. Let's jump into super chat. First of all, Super Shocker gifted 5 Xonebros memberships. Shout out to Super Shocker. Huge thank you for those gifted subs. We also have Vic the MF Click. Vic the Click with a gifted, he gifted 1 Xonebros memberships. Huge shout out there. And then Terry Holly dropped a $5 super chat. Says, Xbox will always have to deal with media bias. I agree with that. You want to know why? Theory why? I don't think it's not intentional. I think it's unconscious bias. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Whatever. It's you don't realize that you're biased, but you're biased. I think it's the the allure of the exotic. And so since Microsoft is an American company, it's not exotic. So it's not seen as artsy. For instance, do you know how many takes? You know how many streamers and PlayStation guys are like? This is what they've said. Like, it's just a shame that the success of these gaming companies are like, who has the most money to buy them? These corporations like Microsoft could come in and buy these games. Whereas, like PlayStation, they just have that magic touch. And they are the creator. Like, bro, they're bigger game company. They're a bigger corporation in the gaming space than Microsoft. What are you talking about? But it's the exotic, like, oh, they're just so good at telling stories, like they are, and I think that's what people fall into that trap of.
They're very good at telling stories.
No doubt they are.
Yeah,
but I think that's
they spend a crap ton of money to do that.
All that I'm saying, all that I'm saying is, I think that's why that bias in the gaming media exists, because I think it's the exotic is more attractive. It's because they're not American companies. That's why.
Well, and
I think PlayStation goes back a long way. Right? I think a lot of people's
first game
was a PlayStation.
Console was a PlayStation.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, you agreed? That was quick.
I agree with that.
Okay, all right.
I agree with that.
All right, well there you go. Check that off.
Anyways, huge shout out! Thank you very much, guys, for the super chats.
Just pull out this back up.
Shall we talk about our Baldur's Gate experience this week?
I think what I'm going to do, so Game Awards is on December 7th. I think I'm going to play through Spider-Man so I can have a good understanding of it. Because I don't think it's going to be a bad game at all. I've heard different things here and there, and I've seen a few people play the first few hours of it, right? And I think it, I've heard a couple criticisms of it, but I don't think they're bad or unfounded or anything or make me want to not play the game. No, the only reason I want to play it is so... Like David said, if it does win, I want to play for myself to see, like, okay, did it deserve to win over Baldur's Gate 3? Because my personal pick is Baldur's Gate 3, and then Tears of the Kingdom in second. But if they put Tears of the Kingdom as a winner, I can see the argument because it is just from the fun factor alone.
That game was literally mind-blowing.
Okay. Can you say this? And maybe this doesn't make sense. I think the fun factor of Zelda is better than Baldur's Gate 3, but Baldur's Gate 3 is the better game. Does that make sense?
Well, we can look at it in a lot of different ways. Let's say the game of the year has to be a good game, fun game, etc. Mm-hmm. I would say
let's pretend for a minute.
Let's pretend
that it has to be a good
those
game.
Qualities. Okay. No, Baldur's Gate 3 pushed the envelope and pushed gaming forward.
Yeah.
It pushed it hard. I think that game pushed it as hard as maybe Halo 2 did back for, this is apples to oranges, but what Halo 2 did for online gaming. Mm-hmm. Baldur's Gate 3 pushed development of games in a very hard direction onward.
So hard it made other developers mad.
Yeah, well, yeah, that one guy, yeah. He developed a game that no one bought. So I guess he's a developer, but no. But I think because of that, and Tears of the Kingdom, they did things that was super fun. They made a sandbox out of
Zelda.
Out of Zelda, which is super cool. And they did things that were different for a Zelda game and etc. But Baldur's Gate pushed it so hard.
Yeah, I think Baldur. Yeah,
I think it's gonna win just because. I mean, you go and look at any review. Well, maybe not any review, but a lot of the reviews I've seen of Baldur's Gate 3, and every single one that I have seen basically said this is probably the greatest game I have ever played in my life.
Yeah, it's good.
And it has its issues, and a lot of the issues stem from the freedom it gives you.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's where the issues lie, which is
we have figured out some settings to dial in the freedom, but
to tune it in a little bit, take it back.
But it is. Oh
yeah, our playthrough, by the way, in Baldur's Gate 3, it's available. The playthrough is available to our members.
Yeah,
David has been fully nude for
the entire time, almost
weeks,
and
weeks.
And it's glorious
because freedom.
He actually
glorious.
He does better with no clothes. Actually, statistically, he does. And that's just how it works.
To be kind to our audience, I have the leaf on his
genitals. He does. Spicy,
and I'm the one recording it.
Yeah, Spicy is our. He keeps us in check.
But David will send us screenshots via text of what the cutscenes actually look like.
Yeah, the best are whenever there's a low camera cut.
Yeah, like when you're talking to a dwarf or a goblin or something like that. Yeah.
The worst is the cutscenes with a dwarf, and then it's at your waist, and there's this big dong, next to.
And the dwarf's just like talking to you, like, "Hey, nothing's in the way."
Funny,
hilarious. There's a game that I want to show you guys, Wartales. Will you look up Wartales, Spicy? This just dropped on Game Pass. Speaking of Baldur's Gate, remember the game Mountain Blade? Did you guys play Mountain Blade?
Yeah.
Super fun. So this is Mountain Blade with...
Did we play it together?
I don't know that we did. This is Mountain Blade. So this dropped a while ago on PC, maybe 6 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. I might be off on my time on that. It just came to Game Pass on console. It's awesome. And... I've watched tons of... I haven't yet played it. I have it downloaded. I'm jumping in this weekend. But I'm very excited to jump in on this. Think Baldur's Gate. Think it's more Mountain Blade, actually. Think Mountain Blade without the 3D combat. And you go around in this world.
Isn't that the point of Mountain Blade?
Well, so instead of 3D combat, though, it's turn-based top-down combat like this. It looks awesome. I can't wait. If you fast forward and show them like exploring the world, I think that's the appeal. So you're basically bandits. And you go around this world, and it's open world. You meet people like right there. So this is like that Mountain Blade top-down strategy kind of thing that you're doing here. Looks super cool. Watch lots of watch lots of playthroughs. This went under the radar and yet is very, very highly rated. Everybody absolutely loves it. Says it's a must-buy. And check it out. Download it. This is one of the benefits of Game Pass right here, I think, where... Yeah, I will definitely be checking this game out. I'm very excited to. And these top-down games work really well with controller, too. So, but Wartales.
I have never even heard of this game.
Yeah, it's super, super.
Did it come out this year?
It's my style, baby. I think about 6 months ago, I want to say. I may be wrong, though, so don't...
this gameplay we're watching is from 1 year ago on PC.
So 1 year ago.
Okay, so it's
1 year
then
ago.
it's coming to Game Pass. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it just dropped on Game Pass. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, there you go.
I'm really excited.
Like, look at the housing. Oh, so cool.
For a lot of the holiday season coming up, so I can play games again.
Next week, baby. Yeah,
Thanksgiving for...
Are we doing a show next week?
No, we don't.
No, we skipped Thanksgiving.
I thought we only skipped New Year's.
No, we skipped Thanksgiving last year.
Did we?
Did we?
I think we did.
Hey, did we? Hey,
I don't think we did.
Hey, live audience.
Did we skip Thanksgiving?
I swear we did.
I don't think we did
because I think it's like we did for the first time.
But I think it's
we
like
hadn't in the past.
Okay.
Do you want to do one, Jordan?
No, I don't care.
I just.
Were we traveling? Was someone traveling last year? I don't know. I don't remember. We'll see. Stay tuned if we will have a Thanksgiving special. Thing is no news happens next week.
Yeah, so we'll just be here like complaining about stuff.
Like we're doing today?
Yeah. But at least our complaints have points.
Debatable.
I moved my Xbox Series X back down to my... Oh, did you see there's a bluey Xbox Series X?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah,
awesome.
With the controllers with the two kids.
I want to know how well that sells.
Yeah, that looks cool.
That actually,
I don't know if it's selling or if it's a giveaway. I don't know.
So
I didn't see.
We've actually stopped watching Bluey at this house.
Really?
Because my kids...
Because it makes you feel like a terrible parent?
Well, it does that.
Yeah.
But I have nothing against Australian accents. But my kid is at the age where he's almost 2, and if he watches that, he's going to start speaking with an Australian accent in America, which is fine. But
Well,
dude,
do you want to know what my...
But also, he's watching a lot of Curious George.
Oh, so
and I had to stop that.
Spanish?
Because, no, Curious George just goes, and my kid has been doing that. He's pointing at things and going,
Your son does that
my
a lot.
son,
and he does watch Curious George.
But my son, that's how he says like, hey, what do you want to watch? And he just goes, ooh. That's how you know it's Curious George.
You know,
here's the thing.
Eventually I'll go back to Bluey.
I think you're being a bad parent on Bluey. Here's why. Me? Especially a dad. Okay.
Well, because, wait, I am?
Yeah, as a dad, yeah. Here's why. Do you know the kind, and your son has blonde hair. Blonde hair with an Australian accent. He's tearing it up in the lady years. He dominates.
I want him to have the fundamentals
He's a catch.
of speech.
Well, you know what's funny about
America.
So my daughter still watches Bluey, and this actually happened this last week, so it's funny that we mentioned it. So our mom is from Europe.
Yeah.
So she says Scotland. Yeah, Scotland.
David's offended.
So they certain words are like interchangeable, like pants, they say trousers, right? Stuff like that, right? Anyway. So and Australia,
that's not interchangeable.
No. But they have some words that are similar, right? Yeah. So my mom comes in because she's watching my kids, and she goes, "Okay, Elizabeth, it's time to tidy up." And my daughter looks at her and she goes, "That's what Bluey's mom says." Oh yeah, tidy up, right? Because we would say clean up.
It's how you put it together.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. Yeah. So Bluey, yeah, it affects everybody.
I just
Bluey makes me feel like a terrible father. It really does. I see freaking.
You wonder what
Mr. Bluey, and he's always playing with his kids in like the most imaginative ways.
Yeah, and not only that. It shows him come home from work exhausted, but then magically he has all the energy in the world to play with his kids.
That's not real. He has time to play freeze tag with his kids, and he freezes and lets them squirt them with the hose, and they're like...
There was like 20 minutes today where I just had to stare at a wall while my kid threw pillows at my face, and that's all I could do. That's all I had the energy to do.
I gotta be better than Bluey's dad.
Friggin' Bluey.
Like Bluey's dad, he's a really good dad. But what is he like a geologist or something? What does he do for a living? Because he's always home playing with his kids.
I don't know. Maybe we're just peeking.
And they live in a nice house.
They have so many rooms. Their house is huge.
Maybe we're just peeking in on the weekends.
That's gotta be. But at a certain point, if we're
during the week, he's yelling at his kids and he's
beating them. He's coming home drunk. Mrs. Bluey's like, "Where's your father?"
At a certain point, though, there's only 52 weekends in a year. Those kids got to grow up,
Well, I always thought,
years. Right?
I didn't realize that Bluey was a girl.
Yeah, Bluey. Of course, she's a girl.
I figured one of them was a boy and one of them was a girl. I didn't know.
It's two daughters, Bingo and Bluey.
I know that now.
I actually did not know that Bluey was a girl.
See? Yeah.
She's totally a girl.
Bluey's a girl.
There's like 20 episodes about it.
Well, I don't watch every episode. No, but
it's because Bluey looks like the dad and
Bingo
looks like the mom, and so I just assumed.
Well, look what assuming does.
They're both
real cool.
The best Bluey episode, everyone. I know, like people are probably like, "Bluey, what the freak?"
What? It's a kids show.
Yeah, and it's actually a really good kids show.
It's the best storytelling. But it's fabulous. But the best one,
I think people should actually study.
Have you seen the one where they're driving in the car on a road trip and they're like making up a story as they go along? And as they make up the story, it goes to like this notebook.
Yeah,
and they draw it. Yeah. It's like that one is. I would, if I was teaching a class, I would use that as an example for storytelling. That one is like, it's just like, wow.
Or if you worked at Disney.
That's like, Bluey is what Disney used to be. It has that charm. It has like very good story. Like instantly hooks you. Something for both kids and adults.
You mean good movies, good shows, right?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Good storytelling.
Yeah.
So well done, Bluey creators. Well done.
Yeah, good job, Australia.
Good job, Australia.
All right.
I wonder if everyone can hear
Australia.
my kid crying in the other room.
Australia.
I want to watch Bluey.
Yeah, what if we are?
Australia has once again given the world a great product.
What's the other great product?
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin, a solid product.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
You were the man.
The man.
And Survivor Season 2.
Didn't it technically, in a weird about way, give us Gladiator?
They did. Russell Crowe?
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
And technically you gave us Thor, too, because he's Australian.
Yeah, so
Dude,
thank you,
Australia produces
See,
for the
your son
world.
could
Yeah,
be Thor.
Yeah,
New
Australia
Zealand gave us Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that side of the world has got their ducks in order.
They gave us the path to Mordor.
Yes. Which, by the way, I have mugs for us. My brother went and visited Mordor.
Yeah, you
this
can
year.
go and visit Hobbiton now.
They gave him mugs that he doesn't want, so we have
nice.
we have Mordor mugs.
That's cool. How come he doesn't want the mugs?
He has no use for them.
Drink out of them.
You drink out of them.
Well, why when he can give them to us? I said I'll take them.
Okay, that's true. Never mind. I take everything back that I just said.
Yeah, I feel like that corner of the world's got things.
See, OCTX
lined
Trucker.
up.
Bluey's a girl, mind blown.
Yeah, well, I swear there's like episodes on it.
Yeah,
Maybe there
that's
is.
how I. Well, that's how I found it. out.
Regardless,
Oh,
the show is really good, and my kids love it. We went from Blippi to Bluey.
Yep.
I watched. Blippi's great, but also
My
He's a
daughter
little-
likes Mika now,
he's really in my face a lot.
and
of the
Miss
time.
Rachel.
And I know that's important for kids to learn, but
Oh yeah, it's
He's-
you're in that situation where you're seeing the same thing over and over and over.
he's
trying-
really in my face.
I'm trying to get them into Pokemon, but they just they
Pokemon?
won't they
Doo-doo-doo?
like it, but they won't hook into it. you know?
Pokemon, doo. I got my kids into Dragon Ball, the OG one, but we had to stop it because there's a lot of inappropriate touching.
Yeah,
by
it's
old
not.
men.
It's not.
That show.
Well, and
Well,
there's just like
every anime
random.
has-
There's like perv old man jokes. I'm like,
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's
don't know.
not exactly a kid show.
I don't think a lot. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of anime that doesn't have the key pervert character.
yeah, like,
It's like a staple. It's like a trope.
and he's like a main character that you like that you need, and he's like
Master
pretty
Yo-
bad
is it
pervert.
who's the
Master
girl?
Yoshi? What's his name?
Yeah, Master is it Yoshi?
Master Yoshi. Yeah.
Yeah,
Master
and who's
Yoshi.
the girl that's with him?
Bulma?
Boma, and he's always like, "Woo, I got your boobs, Bulma."
Yeah. And then in like My Hero
then he's
Academia,
like,
you
"Show
have
me your
Pop
underwear."
Off. Pop Off is like this little pervert kid.
And he has the purple balls. Yeah,
just throws his
probably, yeah.
Like
Everybody tells me I need to watch that. I need to watch it.
You haven't seen it
dude,
yet?
some of the fights are really good.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, everyone says that.
There's
It's so
One of
My
the-
brother-in-law is way into anime, and him and Jordan like
one of the
geek out
greatest
and
scenes of just like high octane power was when I'm just gonna spoiler alert everybody. There's just a scene
well,
where
you can do it
where-
without spoilers.
okay,
A guy looks at a camera.
All Might after a big All Might's like the big hero, right? The big main character. After
He's Hulk Hogan, man.
after an amazing fight, like it's time to pass the torch, and he does it in a way that you're just like, holy, like it's like, and you're just, and then remember the 2 episodes afterward, Bakugo was like, I knew what he was doing, I knew it. There's
I
like
love anime names.
There's a
Bakugo, heck yeah.
there is just.
What's funny is
It was just so high octane for like 5 episodes. Like that's why they have to have filler episodes in anime, because it's just so high.
You gotta come down.
this show had a filler.
Yeah, you need to you need to have 50
was-
filler episodes just to
that
like,
was too
okay,
much
let
to
me
recover.
reset.
It
Yeah,
really-
body hurts.
It's true. They had to do a filler season.
yeah,
after
because
that.
it was just like, okay, I got to reset.
They really had to do that. David, it's so good. Like even my wife likes it, and she is not an anime person at all.
right.
And,
I'll watch it.
I think like modern movie makers in Hollywood actually need to watch this, and the character development of one of the villains from season 1 all the way to what's it like season 5 or 6, where he kind of does, you know who I'm talking about,
Yeah, I
right?
totally
Yeah.
know,
Ventrosco.
When he fight like
Just say some random name. Yes, that's it, David.
his character development just from the beginning when they fight Eraserhead and he calls him really cool, which was actually a pretty cool scene. He was like,
Wow,
"You
he's
are
so
so cool," because he stopped. You are so cool. And then all the way through to the overhaul fight, the character development
That's a great
is
show.
insane. Like, can you not? I would say better character development than Zuko, and I think that is some of the best character development
I would.
on par, maybe, or is Zuko better?
Zuko's better.
Okay, but
I
still
would say
good.
Zuko's
But still good.
Zuko is from.
Yeah, you know
Last
Zuko.
Airbender.
Yeah,
Airbender, yeah.
which was incredible character development as
You
well.
actually watched The Last Airbender, and then you realize after it's done, if you think about it, the show was not about Aang. It was about Zuko.
Yep.
The show was entirely about Zuko.
Yeah.
Just we were from the perspective of
No,
Aang.
Airbender's good. Maybe I'll watch that with my kids. No pervs in Airbender.
Well, it's because it's a
It's
Western
American.
anime.
That's a
American.
Western anime, yeah. But
very good,
the character development of his character, like, it's very good, isn't it? Yeah, I do like. You are so cool.
You are so cool. That's a David, and wait till you see the pop-off kid. Like there are like.
Yeah, so I wanted to enjoy
Like, even-
Dragon Ball, and then like
even
about
Sword
10
Art
episodes
Online
in,
has some weird
and it was
stuff.
my daughter, and like, all right, see what's happening right there. If anyone ever does that to you, you come get daddy, okay? And we're gonna kill him.
And we're gonna go Super Saiyan.
Yeah, we're gonna
We're gonna Dragon Ball Z his ass.
But the thing is what you got to get to,
Twice.
David, and you need to watch it with your son. There is an incredible, one of the best father-son moments I've ever seen in an anime.
In Dragon
Dragon
Ball.
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, it's during
So
it's
I've
during
never
the
done
Cell
Z.
fight.
I just did Dragon Ball Standard. I gotta do Z. Okay.
And,
'Cause
like-
I wanted the backstory.
Well,
but
the thing is like you need to watch it with your son because it's so over the top, but it's an incredible father-son moment. Like, Daddy, come back.
Have you guys seen the
That's
One Punch
so-
Man?
I've
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
I actually own a few of the mangas. I've read
So
it. Even the mangas, like the humor is really good.
so
It comes
fantastic.
across really well. All right, everybody, that does us for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in and hanging out with us. We'll see how these awards break out. Hope you enjoyed this conversation. We love just hanging out with you guys each and every single week. If you haven't yet, head over to Apple Podcasts, head over to Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you listen to us. Rate, review, and subscribe to us there. Again, if you'd like to support the show, come and become a member over on YouTube, youtube.com/X1Bros, and get behind the scenes videos, badges, the whole shot. Have a great week, everybody. Love hanging out with you. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.